Ginny, the marketing director here at Wagner Noël, and I'm with Stephanie. And we recently did our customer survey that goes over from June 2019 to June 2020, kind of how we're doing so we can get some feedback, and also so we can plan for our 2020-2021 season of shows. So we got a ton of really great feedback and also had a lot of questions asked. So we're going to do a little kind of ask me anything with Stephanie and myself to address some of the questions, and then we're also going to be going over some more themed things throughout the summer to address some of the bigger topics that you all had some common misconceptions on and also just needed some clarity. So we are excited to kind of share some of the answers and feedback that we received. So keep watching, and we're going next to Stephanie. So Stephanie, one of the questions that we asked were, what are you least satisfied with at the Wagner Noël? And one of the responses that we received is purchased tickets on website that were 4 times the regular price sold locally. Do third-party sellers sell tickets through the website at inflated prices?
So the answer to that is no. A third-party seller cannot sell through us at an inflated price. So whenever you see tickets on sale through the Wagner Noël, it is going to be very specifically through the wagnernoel.com website, also etix.com. We've talked about that a little bit. They are the only authorized ticketing provider that we hold a contract with. That is etix.com. You'll see their logo. You'll see our logo. It will be all of our branding. We understand that sometimes it gets super confusing. These third-party sites, many of them are called e-tickets or ticket box office or box office, and then it'll be /Wagner Noël. All of those are third-party sites that are not us. And so what we're going to ask you to do is always make sure that you are going directly to our site. If for some reason something just sounds wrong, right? It feels like, why is this ticket to this show $200? We've never had a show that expensive. Just send us a quick email, info@wagnernoel.com. We're happy to look up those ticket prices for you and let you know what our ticket price range is. We can oftentimes then call you back and help you through that process. We don't want you to pay more than you should be for a show here. You know, as the general manager and the management of this facility, we do our best to try to keep ticket prices as manageable as possible. Will we have some shows that the ticket prices are going to be higher than what you would typically see? Absolutely. But those are going to be your Santanas, your Diana Ross, your Bob Dylans, right? Our bigger name artists are going to have a higher price ticket. But always make sure that you are going to our website first to make sure that you're not buying a ticket that is still available with us at 3 times, 4 times the cost. That goes for Facebook. Folks, don't buy tickets from people that you don't know. We can't stress that enough.
So Stephanie, another question that we received was, have we ever considered discounting last minute tickets to first responders? MCT, so Midland Community Theater, does this for many of their shows.
So that's a really good question. We get asked this question in variations a lot. We get asked, why can't you resell a ticket if someone doesn't come to the shows? So the easiest way to answer that question is, we as Wagner Noël don't hold the rights to those tickets. So when we have a show coming into the Wagner Noël, 80% of the time it is through a promoter. That'll be a promoting agency or a regional promoter. The promoter and that show then hold the rights to those tickets. So they can only be sold one time. That is per contract. So the ticket can only be sold once. And the other part of that is that without special permission or without the promoter asking us to offer those as a discount, we're unable to do that. So oftentimes you will see that if it is a Wagner Noël presented show, we will have some different discounts available, or we'll reach out to certain civic groups. That is because that would be a show that possibly we are presenting on our own. So that is the biggest difference there. But
what about unused corporate seats.
So don't have corporate packages available for our performances. So many of the seats that that I think people are thinking about as corporate seats are many of our donors for this facility were companies. So that company may have 6 to 10 seats that are theirs, and they've purchased those seats for the show. Then that company is then allowed to give them to their employees, their friends, and their family. If they don't give those out to friends and family, again, that ticket was still only sold one time to that individual, and we are unable to then resell those seats.
The next question that I'm going to jump in here and answer was what happened to us giving away tickets on social media. So currently right now, as we know, we don't necessarily have shows to give tickets to because we've been rescheduling a lot of shows, but once we are kind of back in full swing, do expect to have a lot of social media giveaways. So what we have in store are exclusive social media giveaways per platform. So exclusive giveaways on Facebook, exclusive giveaways on Instagram, and then we're also working on exclusive giveaways at least once a month through our newsletter. So if you're not signed up already, please go to wagnernoel.com. Top right hand corner, there's going to be a join newsletter button that you can click and provide us with your name and email, and you will be subscribed to our all access newsletters. So that will give you access to our pre-sales, our on sales, notifications when we're doing some fun things like Facebook Live, and also some fun things like World Cocktail Day. So you never know what you're going to get on those newsletters. We try to keep them fun and exciting, and also provide, again, exclusive content for the newsletters as well as all of our social media platforms, and that includes the giveaways. So stay tuned for more of that. So the last question we received regarding some feedback of what people are least satisfied about was the statement said, 1, making us wait in the lobby jam-packed like sardines, opening the doors 30 minutes before all concerts, and 2, the ushers are often told to give 1 program per couple. Really? Question mark.
So we are sorry that oftentimes we do feel like we're a little bit crowded into the lobby. So a couple of things there. We do allow you into the lobby an hour before every show. And then typically what happens is that there's 30 minutes of lobby time, and then we're allowed to let you in the house. So a couple of different reasons for that. The show comes in and out our shows are 1-day stops. So the show loads in, they set up, they have a specific amount of time to do a sound check, and then they perform, and then they're back on the road. So what happens during that time, most of the time, is that they are still setting lights, they are still setting sound, they are still doing sound check. Dancers are still running last minute changes to shows. All of those happen in a very short amount of time. So that 30 minutes for them sometimes is a pivotal amount of time before we can open the doors. So we do have to hold you in the lobby during that time, because obviously they don't want you to see or hear any of that taking place. So, we ask for your cooperation and your patience. Obviously, especially as we get to this post-COVID time frame, we are going to be very mindful about the amount of people in our lobby. And so we're going to work on ways that we can hopefully minimize those crowded spaces. But again, we always just appreciate your cooperation and your patience in the time that you can spend in the lobby and the time that you can then finally get into the house. So that was the first part of that question. The second part of that question was about programs. So oftentimes the ushers would just give 1 program per couple or per family. And typically what happens is that we have to order programs fairly early on in the process of getting our Broadway on sale. So if we have a packed house of between 13 and 1,800 people, we may not have ordered enough programs in order to get through all of those. And so we want to make sure that at least every family or household is getting 1 program. Now, if you would like more than 1, just please feel free to ask them if you can have the second. They will let you know if we're really, really limited. Again, if you come out for intermission, you're always welcome to grab 1 if there's an additional 1 that may be sitting there nearby. They also leave programs after the show, so if you'd like to take 1 as a souvenir, you're also welcome to grab 1 on the way out. I just want to say thank you first and foremost for taking part in our survey process. The survey process is really, really important to us as a venue so that we know what we're doing, what you feel like we're doing well, where we could still improve. We do read through all of these comments. Again, we're trying to answer as many questions as we can, and we're going to continue that. So you're all watching this through your email right now, and but we are going to continue to do this kind of a series for you via Instagram and Facebook. So if you're not following us on Instagram and Facebook, please do so. Again, it's wagnernoel.com or Wagner Noël on Facebook and on Instagram. You can find us there. You can sign up for our newsletter, as Ginny mentioned earlier. That will give you a lot of really early information, right? I also do a weekly segment called Behind the Desk that you'll find on Instagram. And I often announce shows a little bit early. And a lot of times I'll be addressing things like this, a lot of questions or maybe common misconceptions that you've had. So, but on Instagram and Facebook, we are going to put together a little video series to kind of continue answering some of these questions. And we want to make sure that this venue is for you, it's about you, and we want to make sure that you know that we are listening and that we're here to answer as many of those questions as we possibly can. We appreciate you going through the survey process. You can follow us on our socials, and we encourage you to do so because we have lots of fun things that come up. Fun fact. Okay, so it's fun fact time. The lights just went out. So this building is energy efficient. So if we don't move around a lot, the lights go off. That only happens in our office space mostly and in non-public spaces. But there you go, a little fun fact. We try to be as energy efficient as we possibly can. So stay tuned on our social media sites, and thank you again for filling out our survey.